All right, this is going to be a look at the Ravens' eighth possession in their 16-14 win over the Steelers. This one was clutch. This one put the Ravens up 16-7, I believe. When I refer to it as the eighth possession, I do not count the kneel down at the end of the second quarter as a possession. There, me personally, the way that I was taught to analyze, yards per play, yards per drive, etc. We did not we did not factor in drives that were obvious kneel downs at the end of quarters. And so I understand my data and some of the things I reference may be different than others. It's not meant to portray mine as superior. It's just a preface for, calling this the eighth possession when I think other people may call it our ninth. All right, so this is going to be the drive that puts the Ravens up 16-7. And you will possibly hear me flipping between notes. This is going to be a 1st and 10 from the -30, and it's a counter wind back to JK, who obviously had a great game. When I say counter, I mean, the quarterback is opening opposite. This is one of two on this drive where I think Morgan Moses pulling as the second puller is just missing the guy that he's assigned to. He's just missing the linebacker. Andrews doing a good job faking this edge defender and then coming out to the strong safety. Got a kick out by Cologne. And then I just don't know what Morgan Moses is looking for. This could have been a 20, 25-yard gain, guys. I think it might have been even more, possibly. JK is gonna have to deal with Fitzpatrick or maybe bounce it outside of Andrews' block. This is there. I feel like this is a huge gain, missed opportunity. Still goes for 5, though. It's good when you miss a block and you still get 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from the -35. Another counter wind back to Dobbins. And this is interesting to me. Of course, the second puller is going to be reading. All right. So in this case, Powers and Stanley both go off tackle and read it. This is essentially the same play, except now we're not running it to the side where we only had a tight end. We're running it to the side where Andrews is again, and Andrews is apexed out. Watch Stanley's path as the second puller. First. Brown opens to our side. Forgive me for that. I hit my mic. Brown opens to our side. JK, comes down the midline and then veers behind Stanley's block. Very reminiscent of one of the run plays that the Browns run a lot, where the pulling lineman, guard or tackle, goes way outside on a wider track, giving the running back the option to kind of hit it up inside or follow him off. I don't even want to say follow him off tackle. It's really out in the D gap. And another thing I want to reference is during the broadcast, they kind of mistakenly talked about the fact that Andrews was being guarded by TJ Watt. He's not being guarded by TJ Watt. It's probably zone. Right? But this is actually a good thing for the Ravens to run the ball here. However, the Steelers are in a look where they have 3 outside linebackers on the field. They've done this to the Ravens many times. So they basically have taken a DB off the field to recognize that we're in 22 personnel, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. And it's somewhat similar to what Jacksonville did, where Jacksonville played a 5-3. So it's kind of like going back in time in terms of defensive personnel and defensive alignment. So that was a 2nd and 5 where JK got 4, and this was sneaky. 3rd and 1 from I have -40 on my chart, but it's clearly not reached the 40 yet. Fullback dive to Ricard. Moses could have possibly been called for a penalty here, in my opinion. I'm not sure if I show you the end zone angle. On the dive. I actually really like the dive when we open the wrong way. So what I mean is sometimes we'll have the fullback on this side and the quarterback will open here and the fullback's kind of like bringing it back to the other side. Not in that line actually is probably drawn too distinctly or too abruptly, not at that angle. But what I mean is setting the fullback up on one side and not having him go straight downhill. In this case, he goes pretty much straight downhill to the side the quarterback opens to. If you're wondering why I constantly refer to the side that quarterback's open to, look, I'll be honest with you. There's been times before playing defense where we would read the quarterback in terms of which side he opened. All right, so that got us to 1st down, created a 1st and 10, and we were very fortunate here this was not intercepted. I think that Brown, first of all, I think Brown has a great arm. I think this says a lot about the Ravens trusting him on a 1st and 10 after we just picked up the 1st down. Why did we do this? And there's times probably where all of us, myself included, criticize the Ravens for certain play calls. We probably called this because they had 3 outside linebackers on the previous play against 22 personnel. That would be my suspicion. Now, in this case, I see Highsmith, I see Watt, I see two inside linebackers. I see a normal 3-4 look from the Steelers here. I do not see that heavy additional linebacker, either an additional inside linebacker creating a 5-3 or an additional outside linebacker creating, a 6-2, whatever you want to call it. As it is, I think Duve's route, Duve is expecting the ball to be thrown more towards the middle of the field, more in the direction that he's coming back to, maybe at that angle there, somewhere around the Steelers, font, and it's thrown behind him by the hash, tipped and nearly intercepted. Very fortunate. Creates an opportunity for growth, though, as all adversity does. Brown on the speed out. Awesome play call, awesome execution. Great throw, if you ask me. Putting it right in Robinson's direction. What did Robinson have? 7 catches for like 48? He's reliable, man. When he gets targets, he makes plays. I know he dropped one in the end zone against Jacksonville that was huge, obviously, because I think we had to settle for a field goal on that possession. Other than that, I feel like he's been Mr. Reliable. I would advocate for us re-signing him now for next year, but I understand the hesitancy to doing that because, he could get hurt between now and then, and we don't want to dedicate salary for someone who's hurt. But there's an element of trust and faith there, if you ask me. I think he's an asset. I don't care if you think he's a 2, a 3, a 4. He's a guy who can produce at the wide receiver level. He's the X in our wide receiver, in our offense right now, and he's producing backside against multiple guys. Creates a 3rd and 4, another opportunity for growth, and the Steelers get a little hungry, if you ask me. I think they bring Bush on the blitz, and it just creates too much easy space for Mark Andrews. Easy completion. Fitzpatrick has got to drop down from depth, and he doesn't want to do that too early because he doesn't want to give away the coverage. It's basically man-free, I think. Somebody in this scrum in the middle of the field's got to be responsible for the running back. Somebody in here's got to be responsible for the running back. You got man. I mean, let's be honest. There are situations where people are playing man against us. The Denver Broncos didn't know. The Denver Broncos played a lot of, soft quarters, half-field, split-field coverages. The Steelers made us make a play, and Anthony Brown and Mark Andrews made it. I'm looking for a big game out of Mark Andrews this weekend. I don't know about you. 7-yard gain on a 3rd and 4, huge moment. I think I am missing a play here or missing part of a play coming up, so forgive me for that. This should be a 1st and 10 from the 46, and it's Dobbins for 14. Steelers just ain't ready. They, again, I think have 3 OLBs on the field. Look at the previous play here in a moment and see why they're late getting on the field. I'm going to run this one more time and then pull it back to that 3rd and 4. I guess since they were playing man-free, they obviously were not, on the previous play, the 3rd and 4, the Steelers were not in their 6-2 or 5-3. Inside linebacker, corner, safety, corner, 2 safeties. So clearly a nickel alignment, 4-2-5. You have 2 edge rushers. And so what happened was, we get the first down. And I don't know how quickly we got this ball snapped. I would suspect not too quick because we're trying to run the clock out basically. We're trying to use as much clock as possible. And the Steelers have trouble getting their personnel on. We run stretch to the side that they have 2 OLBs on. This is like, I don't want to say this is not a bad play call, but look, they've got 2 OLBs to this side. They should be okay. Linderbaum does a fantastic job. I think it's Linderbaum in here, right on this nose. And I think that's right where JK cuts this back off of. Ronnie does a great job on Hayward. Powers, oh man. Center, left guard, left tackle, I feel like did a great job on this one. Ronnie running flat down the line with Hayward. Really frames Hayward up with one hand. Just gets him moving horizontally. Hayward can't redirect. 13-yard gain. Like to see more stretch with JK. End zone angle, same play, so check these guys out. Again, this is a 1st and 10 from the 46. Got about 6 more plays. Great cut by JK seeing it. He's not a one-cut guy, though, like Gus. Gus is a one-cut guy, if you ask me. All right, 1st and 10. This is a wind back for Dobbins. Off tackle, big run. Getting huge seams in the defense. Sick job by Oliver. Wow. This is sick. Briefly is going to engage the end and then go get the frontside inside linebacker. Gets both things done. He's engaging him and then leaving him to get kicked out by Powers. We used to call this reverse power because you have the guard on the kick out and then the fullback on the wrap and lead. This could have been a little bit bigger. Moses, great job. Wow. One of his best reps from this game. And I think, you let me know what you think of Morgan Moses. I feel like he's played quite well this year with two exceptions. I felt like there was a really bad game against Buffalo, and maybe it was Cleveland. I think it was the Cleveland game when he had to come out of. All right, I think this is the same play. My apologies. Same play, all 22 angle. Yeah, that's the one. I have a part of it cut off, so I'm glad I got the end zone for you. Yeah, so this is the one where Moses combos down and gets to the backside guy, which is Bush. We'll let this one go because it's not completed. All right, 2nd and 4 from the 26. I think this should be Gus, right side. Like crashing over the right side. Man, beautiful effort. Reverse pivot by the quarterback. So the quarterback is, reverse pivoting this way and then turning and handing the ball off. Nothing unusual about that. You can open to it. You can open away from it. Sometimes people assign their quarterback to a reverse pivot, open away from it to clear the path for the fullback to really, give up, really get away from that midline. The midline being, where the ball is right now. I'm having trouble drawing a straight line. So the reverse pivot, kind of gets him off that midline for a moment and then brings him back over it to basically clear the vision for the fullback and the tailback, give them full view of everything so the quarterback's not, quote, in the way. Great job by Ronnie on the backside, just giving everything he's got, getting Highsmith, and then a piece of the safety on the backside, not letting him get there. Amazing effort. I said it in another video. I thought he got hurt on that play the way I saw him fall. All right, so this should be a 1st and 10 from the 19. I don't like this play. I thought it was option, but Brown's not reading anything. I just don't see the point to run option here. We're running counter, wind back, stretch, downhill stuff to death. What is the point here? Someone looks wrong on this play. The blocking scheme looks wrong. We're not reading it. We actually are not reading this with Brown. So if we were, you would leave Highsmith unblocked. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like to me this almost should be a wind back to the other side, but I don't see any pulling linemen there to support that. So I'm not sure. I don't suspect that we had the wrong play by anyone. It just doesn't look of the same quality as the other plays. Not reading anything. Some quarterbacks are taught to look, out of 45-degree angle of their eye or like 30-degree angle, really. And I don't think he is. I think he's looking flat down the line and just giving it to Gus. I'd like to see, counter wind back or something there. So that was a loss of 1. This should be 2nd and 11, and it should be Gus for 7. On a wind back, go right back to it. Let Powers get Hayward out of there. All right, Hayward's in a 3 on the backside, and Powers is just gutting him out. So we're pulling Linderbaum and Ronnie out wide, and Gus sees it and juts back inside. Again, 3 OLBs on field. 1, 2, and then Watt is off screen. You'll see him late. Powers and Ronnie take this thing off tackle. Gus just has the vision to go, oh, nope. Another great job by Moses, if you ask me. Thankfully, he didn't get rolled up on. He's got a tight 5 there. Works to the outside on him. O-line winning a lot of battles. All right, that creates the 3rd and 4, which we don't get, which I don't have that play, and we get a field goal. Look, I thought this was a clutch drive from an Anthony Brown standpoint. It's a clutch drive by our O-lineman. We converted 2 3rd downs, the 3rd and 1, the dive to Ricard, the 3rd and 4, the completion to Andrews in the pass. And then we had the 2nd and 11 counter wind back to Gus. We get 7. We don't convert that play, which again, I don't have that play here. I thought this was a huge drive where it really illustrated that we wore their defense down. Do you expect that to happen in terms of our ability to bully their defense in the return bout in Baltimore? I'm not sure. I can't say definitively that we're just going to blow them off the ball, but we certainly did so against looks that had an extra linebacker on the field. And so to me, that would reflect the Steelers were really selling out to stop the run, and they still couldn't do it on this, what I have down as the 8th possession. Some people may refer to it as the 9th. incredible run by Dobbins on the stretch play. I think you see the talent level of our offensive line in the run game. Relative weakness of our O-line would certainly be pass pro versus what you saw here on this drive. But we've had moments where our pass pro was great for most or half or three quarters of a game. So I think we have a very capable offensive line with Dobbins and Edwards back. As crazy as it sounds, I think we've got a really good chance to win this game against the Browns. If we can stop the run and we can generate some yards in our own run game, I think we have a chance to win this game. I know that sounds crazy, and it doesn't matter who plays quarterback from the standpoint of we have the ability to win the game, in my opinion. If Lamar plays, obviously we should be the favorite. But Lamar's probably not playing, and it seems like maybe Huntley isn't as well. Now, as I record this, it's about 2:30 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, so I have no idea which of those guys practiced. Let me know what you thought, what you were feeling during this drive. I was a little nervous and apprehensive because I knew we needed to get up by more than just 6 because of the way that we have had so many defensive collapses. And of course, we did give up a touchdown, after this possession. Let me know what you were feeling, what you were thinking, and how relieved you were when we went up 16-7. We left some points on the board earlier in the game. Very easily could have been 19-7. But thankfully, we're able to close it out and push to 9-4 in what has been the second craziest season for the Ravens in recent memory, only behind 2021. If you guys appreciate this video, let me know and in the comment section, and please consider sharing it on social media to help the video increase its reach.